Welcome, everybody, to another edition of BADCATZ SPORTS PODCAST. I am the Hurricane Mike Herren, joined in studio with my brother from another mother, the undisputed, undefeated, under 21 sports podcast champ in all of New England. We know him as Rowdy Riley Arruda from the
Thank you very much.
Arruda clan. And there are hundreds of them, so look out.
Pretty much, yes.
Look out, look out, look out, look out, look out. Well, Riley, nothing is ever easy here, right? And
I guess not.
I just had my first training session, right? It was like a half-ass. But I'll tell you what, you're an excellent teacher.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I think I'm a bad teacher.
No. Well, you're going to school to be a teacher.
I know, and I think I picked the wrong profession.
No, well, you can come back to me. I think you'll be a great teacher. You broke it down in very simple terms for me and by stages, and I'm feeling a lot better about the situation we are in than I was 2 hours ago.
That's good to hear.
So that in itself is a good thing for sure. So that'll be an adventure that awaits. Apparently, our producer, Rob Leonardo, has decided to stay in Portugal for a little while, and we wish him luck. Well, we just wish we would have had some advance notice to that, so we could have prepared probably. But besides you and Robin, it was going so good for so long, right? That,
something happened. Something had to happen, you know?
Yes, of course it does. You know how that goes.
You know how it goes, of course.
So I got a couple of questions I got to ask you.
What is it?
Okay, what happened to Portugal, Riley?
Oh yeah, they're in the playoffs now. They have to do a play-in to actually make the World Cup. So I mean, hey, I don't think their coach is good at all. I think he got really lucky. I think he got really lucky. I think got really lucky in 2016 in the Euros. I mean, they got a really easy path to get to the final. They were just hungrier than that France team was. I think that he got really, really lucky. And this is the best team he's ever had by far. It's not even close. The most talent. And they have a top 5, maybe even top 3 most talent out of any nation in all of Europe. And they have to go to the play-in to get into the World Cup. It's laughable. I mean, it's not a good look for any of the players on a good team on that team at all. So I mean,
surely
if they don't make it, that's a huge black mark on Ronaldo's name, on everyone's name in that whole Portuguese team. If they don't make it, it's terrible. And they're close.
I feel bad for Ronaldo if he doesn't make it.
I don't. I mean, it's kind of like I feel like he kind of brought it on himself, because even at the end of the game, if you watched it, when the coach came up to him, he was like arguing with him still and was like getting mad at him, and the coach had to like walk away. Like I get the coach wasn't doing that great, but still, like you don't gotta do all that. It was just, I was like, whatever. Hey, but if they don't make it, it's not gonna be looking good at all.
Now, Rowdy, you definitely didn't train me to do something that says "or snap" on the screen. What are we gonna do there?
We'll be fine. It was just Facebook had a little issue, so you just gotta refresh it. You'll be good. Look right there. I'm like breaking my neck right now too, because my stupid mouse for some reason decided to act up at the last second, where I can't see it on my screen. I have to look like this to see it. So
yeah,
that's why I keep doing that. You know?
But Riley, when I talked to you about the potential of this happening against Ireland, you were very dismissive of me.
I was, because of how much people don't understand how much talent is actually on this team. Like, this is probably the most talent on any Portuguese team ever. Like, they have so many young guys.
Why would you be dismissive of a loss a week ago?
Oh, no, it was a tie. So I didn't think the tie meant anything, because they're playing fucking Serbia. It's Serbia. Like, Serbia has not one player that will start on the Portuguese team. Maybe one dude in Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, who could probably start for the team. That's about it. No one even comes close to starting because of how much talent Portugal has. Even without Ronaldo, none of their players are going to start on that team. And that's why I'm so dismissive, because there's only like France, maybe not Germany. I would argue that Portugal has more talent than Germany. England probably might have more talent, but defensively they don't. And then probably Belgium. There's probably two or three teams that have more talent than all of Portugal and all of Europe. And if you want to go worldwide, they're still probably in top 5 for talent.
Any chance they would confine the coach between now until the World Cup thing?
I don't think so, because Because
everywhere I go, people are pissed.
If they don't make it, then yes, he goes. But they still have another game to play, so they wouldn't fire him and then just Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Well,
like
yeah, 2 games to play.
yeah,
right?
I know, but like it's all right. So put it in like American sports for everybody. It's like if the Rams lost to get #1 seed and they're in the wild card now and they just fire McVay the week of the wild card. Like it doesn't make any sense to fire him the week of the wild card. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
give him the end of the playoffs.
I don't know if I'm buying your analogy.
It is.
They should be, if they're as talented as you say, they should beat Ireland.
That's like the Rams. It's the Rams have that much talent. And if the Rams lose out on the #1 seed, it's like if they do that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how else to explain it because it's weird. Like no other.
But here's my problem, right? If we can't beat Ireland in a World Cup qualifier, and we can't beat Serbia in a World Cup qualifier, you know, that's bad.
It is bad.
And something's got to be done. And it certainly is not the talent level because all of my friends who follow all the Portuguese players in all their leagues that they play overseas, when I'm not just talking Sporting or Benfica or Porto or any of that, okay? I'm talking. They follow these Portuguese kids on the Premier League teams they play on the La Liga teams they play on, in the Bundesliga teams, in the Series A teams, all of it, okay? And you know this. I mean, you guys have more Portuguese players doing big things on the international stage than you ever had, and to not make the World Cup is bogus.
It would be, but there still is a lot of hope left. I mean, they still have this playoff to do. They're definitely the best team in the play-in or whatever, if you want to call it play-in playoff. They should definitely win this. If they don't make it, then obviously it's panic time because you're going to miss out on a World Cup. But this World Cup in itself is it's so stupid because of the way when it's going to be played. It's being played in the middle of the club season. It's being played in November. It's usually played in the summer. And because they wanted to do it
and only 8 days of recovery.
Exactly, 8 days recovery for the Premier League. It's so stupid. Like it's because they wanted to go to Qatar,
but it's the greatest.
It's so corrupt.
It's the greatest
it's so
tournament
corrupt.
in the world, though.
But it should be. It is, but it should be in the summer because it's the way it's run. It's like the team that won the bidding was Qatar.
Is Qatar even ready for this? I mean, we've had
that's why it's pushed back to November because they needed to make stadiums and it's not going to be ready for the summertime. So it's pushed back for November.
So why do they
I guess.
get the bid? Because they got money.
Exactly. It's so stupid. The way that FIFA runs it's so dumb.
Does it belong in Qatar?
No, it doesn't. Because now look what it's doing.
Does Qatar have any type of soccer history?
Not really. But the thing is, like, as soon as you buy it or get the World Cup, your team qualifies no matter what. So I hope Qatar loses all 3 games and they don't make it at all, and they lose every game 12-0. Because the amount of injuries you're going to get from this is going to be ridiculous. Because you got to think about it, right? These players are going to be in the middle of their season. They get 1 week, like a week and a half, 2 weeks off to prepare for the World Cup. Yeah. Then they play bang, 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 a bunch of games for the World Cup. 8 days off and go right back to the season where you're playing Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League. You're going to get like so many players injured more than ever, by far, not even close, and it's going to be terrible to watch because you're going to be playing with all these backup players.
Do the players have any ability to fight this?
Some of them, yes, but it's not going to do anything. There's too late into it. They can't change it. If you look at it like this, like we only have how many months until summer, and we only have like 6 teams that are qualified already for the World Cup. You can't just do it in the summer because you still have to play these qualifiers in like I think March or whatever that they're doing. So there's not enough time, and I think this is going to be one of the I don't want to say one of the worst World Cups, but it's going to be like tough to watch because either players are going to be hurt going into it because it's going to be in the middle of the season, or the players are not. The club teams are going to be really upset because, like, oh, my dude, like, say Ronaldo, he goes out to play for Portugal, he gets serious injury and he's out for the whole season now because he left in the middle of the season. Sure. In the summertime, if they get a serious injury, they still have time to rest.
Sure,
it's terrible. It's terrible the way they're doing it.
But you and I know, as important as those other things are, the World Cup stands alone, right?
It definitely does. Yes.
Of importance. So, you know, I don't know. I try to give you a little warning shot across the bow, talking about.
I think they should still be fine. I think I'm gonna look up right now what the teams are in the playoff because I definitely think they're the best team.
So we're talking about Portugal possibly not qualifying for the World Cup.
Yep.
We're talking about the Patriots being the hottest team in football. We're talking about a crazy, crazy week in the NFL. What else is new? Where some teams that were hot are now not. Some that were not are now hot. And this is crazy. We're talking about upsets, offensive explosions, and disappearing acts. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers getting a little choked up and Tom Brady getting a little pissed off. Is rightfully, I believe that he should have been, as a Tampa D wide receivers fail their quarterback and their defense fails the squad. But we got some big news out of Foxborough, but we're going to hold off until we handle this World Cup thing. So on your level of concernedness, right? What level are you at? Are you at a 5?
Out of 10.
But they got their backs to the wall. There's no more mistakes.
I know. Out of 10.
Okay, don't beat Ireland. Okay, we can beat Serbia. Okay, don't beat Serbia. We got the qualifying game in. What happens when there's nothing left?
But that's the thing. Like you don't want to go to the qualifying game because all those other teams are hungry because those teams are not supposed to make it in with ease.
Sure.
Portugal is supposed to make it in with ease, and they're the favorite by far.
Ronaldo, it's like playing the Yankees or playing the Bulls with Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
You know, this is everything for them. Do we know the countries that are left in this?
I think it is Russia. Sweden is another one.
Yeah,
and then as well maybe. Italy's actually going to be in the playoff as well.
Oh boy!
So if Italy gets to Portugal, I mean that's not good because Italy just won the Euros. I mean,
I know.
They're looking like a really, really good team. But again, you don't want to face Italy. You don't want to face any of these teams. So
why are you telling me that you're okay with it?
Because I feel like they're definitely going to wake up. They have too much talent to not make it. If they face Italy, it's real panic time. If they draw Italy, that's panic because any team can win that. Italy just won the Euros. They were looking like the best team in the Euros. They looked really, really well. But if you get a team like Russia could upset you. They could, but I feel like 8 times out of 10 they'll beat you. Same thing with Serbia. 8 or 9 times out of 10 Portugal will beat them. That was the one game. And the game before that, there was like 2 months ago, Portugal played Serbia. Ronaldo scored a goal, and it was like this much over the line, but where they were playing, they didn't have the technology for the ball to go over, so the referee didn't see it and didn't count. So that game ended 2-2. If that goal would have went through, Portugal would have been through on goal difference, and they wouldn't have to go to the playoffs. So that goal could mean a lot for them right now. So
now, okay, how many teams out of this playoff are going to advance?
I think it's like 2, or something like that. 2 or 2. I think. I'm pretty sure.
And how many teams are there?
I think it's like 8. I maybe.
You don't have them in front of you?
No, I try to look it up, but it always keeps bringing me stuff up from like 4 days ago because I still don't think I don't think everything's done yet. So that's why there's still teams qualifying for the play-in, and there's still teams qualifying.
But we already know that Italy's going to be a problem.
Yes, we already know that Italy.
And is there any other potential team out there that could probably be a problem?
Like I said, Russia could be one. Sweden could be one because of Sweden.
Yeah.
Like last World Cup in 2018, they made it to the quarterfinals, and then they made it to the quarterfinals, I think, or the round of 16.
I made my mind up. I'm going to the next World Cup, so it's going to be held in Canada, Mexico, and the United States.
I'm going
to the next one.
Yeah, you can't miss that. You can't miss that.
My boy Ronaldo. No, we're going as we'll go as a press.
That's awesome. Yeah.
My boy Ronaldo, right? May not get. You know, I mean, can he play in the World Cup in 4 years from now?
He's 36 right now, about to turn 37, or is he 37, about to turn 38? Either way, he's in 36, 37, 38. 4 years from now, he's going to be like 41, 42. I don't see it because of how much talent is on the Portuguese team. And there's so much talent going forward on the forward line that I feel like if you start him, it sounds crazy, you'd only be hurting yourself. And there's a lot of people pushing it right now that if you start Ronaldo, you're only hurting yourself because there's so much talent that doesn't get to play at all because of with Ronaldo, you have to change your whole game plan around him because he only plays one way and he only plays one position. It's hurting all of the younger players. So from 41, 42, I don't think so.
Players, but Ronaldo was the one that scored the 2 goals to even make him to be qualified for the playoffs.
But
how can you take that guy out of there?
Because he's at that point he's 41, 42. I even right now with Manchester United,
but without Ronaldo and his ability to put the ball in the net under all kinds of circumstances, Portugal wouldn't even be in a qualifying playoffs for this because he bailed them out, right? Didn't he have 2 goals in the last 7 minutes?
When against? Oh, that was like.
But no, that was World Cup qualifying.
I think that was that one game.
Yeah.
But going off that one game, then the same thing for Eder, who scored the final goal against France. Then Eder should be in the team every time because he did that.
Eder doesn't have the most. Is there a player alive with more World Cup goals than Ronaldo?
Yeah. He doesn't have the most World Cup goals. He's not even close because he doesn't score that much. He has the most international goals out of any international player. World Cup goals is like that one. It's this guy Miroslav Klose. He has like the most goals, and I think it's like 16 in all of the World Cups.
Where's he from?
He's from Germany.
No, is he active? Still active?
No, he retired a couple years ago.
But active players, it would be Ronaldo probably, correct?
I don't think so. Not in the World Cup because the World Cup he doesn't score that much. I'll look it up, but yeah. So the other nations in the playoffs is Italy, Portugal, Sweden, Poland, Russia, Scotland, Austria, Czech Republic, Wales, and North Macedonia. So North Macedonia is terrible. They're not good at all. Austria is decent. They're not the best. Czech Republic is not good. Wales is decent. Russia can give you problems. Poland, they're not good, but they have literally the best player in the world. Sweden. Sounds weird, but they're really not good. Sweden is tough, and then Italy is Italy. They're one of the two best teams in the world right now. So
how many teams out of that qualify?
I think only 2 from that. I'm pretty sure. So only two qualify from that whole thing. Because you still got to remember, there's a lot. There's African teams that have to qualify, Asian teams. You know what I mean?
I get it. I mean, that doesn't look like a layup to me. I think there's 3 or 4 teams because in soccer, anybody can beat anybody on the right day. You get a hot goalie, or you hit a couple of crossbars, a couple of things don't go your way. Somebody gets hurt. I don't know. I don't feel good about it.
So it's 3 nations. 3 nations.
3 nations.
So it's 12 teams will be drawn into 3 paths of 4 teams. So 12 teams will be breaking down into 3 separate brackets of 4 teams. Yeah. Say Portugal and whatever face off. Then the winner of that will face off of the other 2 teams. Then that winner of that side of the bracket goes. And then so there's 3 different brackets, and all 3 winners of those brackets go on. So if Portugal doesn't get Italy in their bracket, that would be the best way. If they get them in the bracket where they have to face them in the final of their bracket, you get what I mean? Yeah. Then that would be trouble. Or if they face them the first round, obviously that would be trouble. But you want to get Italy as far away as you can.
Is it single elimination and you're done?
Yeah, single elimination, you're done. So if Portugal loses the first game, they don't even get to the finals of their playoff. So you gotta barrel down, and that's still months from now. It's not gonna happen right now. So if an injury happens from here on to then, because most of these players are all really big name players, then you're screwed. Like if Ruben Diaz gets hurt, who's like probably their second best player, arguably maybe their best player on the team, if he gets hurt, you're completely screwed because now you have no defense. Ronaldo gets hurt, obviously it's Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes. Any of those guys get hurt from here on now when Champions League is going to happen, which they're going to play all those games in the Champions League, then the Premier League, whatever leagues. So it's not happening right now, so it's not going to be this exact team. Injuries could happen, so it's very scary.
Unbelievable. Imagine a World Cup without Portugal and Ronaldo. That'd be a real buzzkill.
Hey, all I know is USA is looking fantastic, so that's all I'm good about.
I was digging it, man. I was digging that game. Yeah. And Pulisic, my boy, right? They went into the 60th minute, they put him in, and bang,
he scores
bang, bang.
right away. And that's the first time since 1937 that either Mexico or USA has beat the other team 3 times in 1 year. So it's telling you something. Like, it's starting to turn around.
It is.
They're doing so good.
The average age is 22, 23 years old, okay?
Ridiculous.
They're hungry. They're talented. They appear to be much more athletic, okay? You got more players that are playing overseas. This is a great job, and they're really starting to turn around. And I've been on this bandwagon for a while and watch it. And know what else I like, too? They didn't let the Mexican fans grab all the tickets. That was ingenious. Yeah,
that was awesome.
Well, I think they gave them to like the season ticket holders of Kansas City. Was it Kansas City?
It's in Ohio or something.
Was it in Ohio?
Yeah.
So this, I think they gave away the tickets to like the MLS club team that was around there to their season ticket holders to be able to buy them first. Something I don't know. I had one eye open and one ear open listening to it, but.
So my friend Alex said that Portugal has the first playoff game at home, the first playoff game at home final, which will be neutral. So the first playoff game will be at home, and then the final will be at a neutral field. So that's big for Portugal. They have the first one in Portugal. That's really big. And then the leading goal scorer in the World Cup is Thomas Müller. He plays for Germany, and Ronaldo has 7. He has 10. Okay. So if Ronaldo scores 3 more, he'll catch him up. But he needs 7. I think it's 16. So he needs 9 goals 9 or 8 goals to have the record in this one World Cup. He needs to get 9 or 8 goals, which is like almost impossible.
That's not happening.
Because it definitely could if he gets a hat trick one game, a goal, and then they go deeper. It could happen, but it's very unlikely. It'd be a good bet to make, to be like, hey, I think Ronaldo's going to finish as the all-time World Cup scorer from this World Cup. The odds of not being
if you want to bet 100, if you want to bet 100 to win $5 grand. Maybe.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
rock and roll.
Like $20 to win like 2.5.
I got no problem, my brother. No problem.
Hey, if any player could do it.
I'm the Portuguese rocket, Ronaldo. I'm telling you something right now. I got no problem taking a long shot bet.
Anybody could do it.
I just hope and pray for my people in southeastern Massachusetts, in the Portuguese enclaves in Newark, New Jersey, and San Diego, and Santa Fe, around the country. I'm praying that Portugal gets in the World Cup because you don't know. You don't know WEI. You don't know none of how important soccer is down there. Believe me when I tell you, it's in the blood, and it is of highest importance. So Portugal better get in. We need you in there.
It'd be terrible if they didn't make it.
Oh my God, they would stop. It'd be awful.
How many people would be in the streets?
I started getting a text. I started getting a text the other day. Listen.
Yes, Argentina.
This ain't life and death, but it's the closest thing to it in sports. Where I'm from, Portugal needs to qualify in the World Cup. Okay? And Ronaldo, this might be his last World Cup. He needs to play in it and play well. So, that's the proper order of things around here.
Yes.
You don't understand the chaos that will happen down there if Portugal doesn't qualify. And they shouldn't even be in this position. I was sending up red flags at Mason 21 to my boy Rowdy. Hey, listen, are you worried about this score with Ireland? Are you worried about Serbia? No. But look where we are now. Now we have zero room forever.
And my mom asked,
Viva Portugal, let's go.
In line to play the World Cup? Yes, Argentina hasn't lost since 2019. They're 26 games unbeaten. So I think they're definitely going to make it. They haven't lost in a long time. They just came off winning the Copa America. So Messi will be there. Hopefully we can get Ronaldo in the last World Cup for both of them pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. You want it's like Magic and Bird, right?
Yeah,
brother?
exactly.
It's like Magic and Bird. Okay. Celtics lose to Cleveland. Terrible loss. They play Cleveland again tonight at Cleveland. I don't know what type of marijuana the schedule maker for the NBA is doing.
Terrible, dude.
It's terrible. They play again in Cleveland. They cannot lose this game. All right.
Especially at Cleveland.
They were up big against Cleveland 4 days ago.
I know, it's Cleveland.
We cannot lose this game. Okay? Period. This is, Cleveland's down and out. They've been down and out for as long as I know. They had that little flash in the pan with LeBron a long time ago with Mark Price and Brad Doherty, Hot Rod Williams and Larry Nance and a bunch of people doing some nice things. But let's face it, Cleveland is the dumping ground of the NBA. But they got some guys like Kevin Love and Ricky Rubio out there.
They're 9-5.
Yeah, that are playing well, and this is the problem.
The Celtics are under 500, and we came into the season saying smashing the over 500.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
That got in bet on it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. Right now. The Celtics only a 1-point favorite in this game. Okay, and this is a team that at this time last year we were talking about an NBA Finals contender. At the beginning of last season, coming out of the bubble, Riley, right?
Yes.
We were saying that they were right there.
They should have made it.
They were right there. Think about how bad they've fallen off since then. This time last year, coming out of the bubble, most people had the Celtics penciled into the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
A team of promise, a team of hope, a team of young talent. Okay? Now, Ainge is going. Stevens is kicked upstairs. I don't know what's up with this coach. Okay? Jaylen Brown's out. Jason Tatum's trying to find himself. He's not going to do it shooting step back, sideways, 25-foot three-pointers, but it is what it is, and it's a problem. Celtics Nation, we got a problem on it. If we lose this game tonight, I'm pressing the panic button.
Yeah, this is huge.
Huge for them.
Huge game. And like you said, the Tatum step back threes.
Oh, it's tough on the eyes.
God. It hurts. I need to eat a lot of carrots after watching that. It's like every 2 minutes, it's like step back three. Sure, they look cool when they go in, but they don't go in all the time. You're not Steph Curry.
I watched ball and said, it's no good. I said it's no good. But super talented. But hey, listen to me. We've talked about surviving success here. We've talked about reaching potential. Do you want to be a 10-year All-Star, or do you want to be in the top 75 players that ever play this game? Because, young man, you have the potential to be that dude. You have the skill set, the size, the weight, the athleticism, the feet, the handle, the jumper. You got it all. But what do you want to be? What do you want to be? You want to be a big shot, be a 10-year All-Star, make it in the Hall of Fame, big deal, Jason Tatum in the Hall of Fame, or you want to be that guy? Oh, you want to be that guy that says, hey, let me tell you something. Jason Tatum's talented, but he's a winner. He's a grinder. He's a dog. And he brought the Celtics to another championship. Bust that.
We hope.
Do you want to be that guy? Or you want to be that guy that just kind of like floats in on his talent? Well, because you're that good. You may never win shit, but you still may be a Hall of Famer because you're that talented and your skill set is that big. Like the young kids say, you got a lot in your bag, young brother, but put it on them every night. That's what separates the great ones. Every night they do it, and they make their teammates better, and they're making big plays away from the ball.
Like Steph Curry.
What's it going to be?
You seen that shot he had?
Yeah, he's the best.
He's ridiculous.
He's the best to watch.
He's ridiculous. He's one of my favorite players. Probably my second favorite non-Celtic behind Paul George. He's so cool. I just love him.
You rather watch Paul George than
no? He's my favorite player. Paul George is my favorite player in the NBA.
Okay,
but
Fresno State, you know that, right?
Yeah. But he's just my favorite player. Like everyone has that favorite player. That's just Paul George to me. But Steph is probably my second favorite non-Celtic other than Paul George.
To watch, it's amazing.
Yeah, the way he handles the ball, shoots it, even passing. He's so good at passing, movement off the ball.
He looks like he's in a walk in the park too.
Yeah, it's so easy for him.
The great ones determine the tempo and the pace of how they're gonna go. Okay. And the ones that can really slow it down on you, like Steph can, and rock you to sleep with the left, right through the legs, step back, or shuffle, or whatever he does. I mean, everybody's playing on his speed when he has the ball, and that's when you can tell who the great ones are. Certainly not. Tom Brady was everything but performed like a great one yesterday, but in watching a game like I did, crazy amount of drops, okay? The defense has given up 33, 29, and I don't know, whatever they gave up again recently. They are struggling, okay? Tampa Bay's offense, Mike Evans disappeared essentially, okay? Who's the other one? Godwin.
Antonio Brown.
No, Antonio Brown was hurt and Gronk's hurt. We got to get those two guys back in the lineup for that, but we'll talk about that a little later.
The 1 week that Birdie's team does really good, he's not here. So I think, Birdie, if you're listening, you got to stay in Florida because your team actually won a game, and it was it was a good win, a huge win because it was by 10 points. It felt like it was never in the Bucs' favor at that point. When I was watching, I was like, wow. I was like, okay, the Bucs are going to come back eventually. They're only down by 10 in the first quarter. Okay, they're only down by 10 at second.
Do you know that the Washington drive was the second longest drive in franchise history?
Which one?
They had the ball. They got the ball with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Tampa Bay had just scored a touchdown, and they ate up everything but 40 seconds of the clock. Do you know that?
That's crazy. I did not know that.
I believe the drive was 10 minutes and 40 some odd seconds. Is somebody out there correct me if I'm wrong? If I might have if I'm off a couple of seconds either way.
So
that's brutal. I mean, they couldn't get off the field.
Yeah. I was saying it before the season started that their secondary needed help, and I don't think Sherman.
It's not the secondary. They're running on them.
I know, but even the big plays that they were throwing on them was a lot too. Like they had I forget what receiver.
No. Like, if you watch the Tampa Bay early, it was their secondary. Now, as crazy as it sounds, okay, the Washington Redskins ran the ball up their throat.
Yeah, nobody ever does that to them, and that's just nuts.
You get the Ndamukong Suh, you got the Samoan guy running around.
I'm so mad because I benched the Redskins running back, Antonio Gibson in fantasy. He had 24 points on my bench. I'm like, he's not going to do anything. He hasn't been that good recently. They're playing the Bucs. He's not going to do nothing. And what does he do? Freaking scores 24 points, like 2 touchdowns. Like, come on, bro. Really?
Riley, listen to me. You're starting to get a little famous in here. People come up and ask me questions about you. What's up with this dude, Riley? Everywhere I go in Providence, people ask me about you. I was in the Bev, people ask me about you in Fall River. But also comes the haters, brother. And there are whispers that you are in last place in your family's fantasy football team. Is that true?
Possibly. If that's Eugene, I'm literally not going to talk to him ever again.
What?
He's so fucking annoying. Yes, I am.
No, listen.
But it's okay because
it is not Eugene. And I said,
No.
I don't even believe it.
because you don't even understand. I traded. Oh my god, the guy I drafted, Robert Woods, just tore his ACL. What else happened to me? Fuck, I can't think right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, I traded for Calvin Ridley. I traded Chris Godwin away for Calvin Ridley, which for me is definitely a win. You should always do that every chance you can get because the targets Calvin Ridley was getting was insane. The week I trade for him, he doesn't fly to London because he has problems. The next week is his bye week. He plays against the Dolphins, and then after that, he's out for the rest of the year because he's sad or whatever. So I traded for him. He gets sad. Robert Woods tore his ACL this week. So I drafted Saquon Barkley. First 2 weeks, he did nothing for me, right? I was 0-2. The next 2 weeks, he plays 100%. I'm 2-2. So both times he plays, right? I'm fine. The next week, I lose by 14 points. And the first, one of the first plays of the game, Saquon gets hurt. And then the receiver for the Giants get hurt. And I lose by 14 points. 2 of my guys don't play. And Saquon's been hurt since week 5 the whole week. So I didn't want to hear it. I just have some shit luck.
It was not family members.
It was shit luck.
It was nobody in that league. Now,
I doubt that.
It was not anybody in that league.
I highly doubt that.
But they might have heard about it, but it was. Now listen to me. Now, I put a little cash in the thing. Now that's not going to happen, right?
No, I'm fucked. I'm done. I can't do anything. The players that I have that are injured, it's just losing Robert Woods was huge because he was just a stable on my team to get 12 points every week, and it's just not going to happen.
Robert Woods is gone.
Yes, he's tore his ACL on Friday. Yeah, so that's huge for the Rams as well. Huge loss for them because
you can't find anybody off the waiver line.
I tried. I think I got a guy, Jamal Agnew. You probably never heard of him. He plays for the Jaguars. He's a receiver.
Will anybody do you a solid and make you a trade?
No, I made a few trades and I don't know. My team's okay, but Saquon, I'm never. This is on record. I'm never picking Saquon Barkley ever again, even if it's round 16 and he should be a first rounder. I will never take Saquon again because coming into this year, I never liked Saquon. Even when he was drafted, I said, I still don't think he's that good. He shouldn't be drafted in the top 5. And everyone was calling me crazy. And then his rookie year, he blew up, right? Sure. The next year. And even his rookie year, I was like, yo, I don't think he's that good. He has huge games, but there was games where he would have 5 rushes for 30 yards and do nothing. And then he would have those monster games. And I was like, yo, he's not consistent. I don't like him. The next year, didn't do that well. The year after, got hurt. Didn't do that well.
His team's a mess.
Exactly, and I never liked him. And then I took him this year because I was like, oh, at 12 pick, I have to. And I wish I could go back because I would never take him because I always swore to myself I'll never take him.
Now, hold on a second. How far are we away from
playoffs?
Being kicked out for a year, and I heard about that pink dress you might get over.
Yeah, so playoffs. So it's week 10 right now. Week 10's not over. If Higbee and Odell Beckham both score 10 points, which is going to happen, if they combine for 10 points, I lose this week, then I'd be 2-8. Then we're
who's Higbee?
Tyler Higbee. So they need for the Rams. So they need 10 points combined. Higbee and Odell Beckham, which is 3 catches, 60 yards each, and I'm done. But we got 4 weeks left until playoffs. Once playoffs hits, I have to win at least one game, and I won't be kicked out. So from week 14 on, I need to win at least one game, and I'm really, really hoping Ridley plays. If Ridley plays, I'm not worried at all because he's Ridley, and I think my 2 receivers as Justin Jefferson, the receiver for the Vikings, and then Calvin Ridley, I should be fine, and I think by then Saquon will be healthy. So I don't know, but it's really bad losing Robert Woods. It's really bad. And I really need Saquon to play. He's on his bye week right now. If he play, Saquon, please, you need to play this week. I'm really, really depending on him.
Who you guys got backing these guys up?
What do you mean? So the thing is, I have Austin Eckler, who's been a top 5 running back in all of fantasy this year. I have Michael Carter, who's been pretty decent for me. It's just my quarterback has been really screwing me over. I had Ryan Tannehill for the whole year, right? And then the week I dropped him to pick up somebody else, he scored, because every week before that, he was scoring 12, 20. I was like, dude, it's not that good. I can't rely on him averaging 15 points. The week I drop him, he scores 28. The week after, he scores 27. The week after, he scores 22. And I was like, bro, as soon as I drop him, he starts to do this, and now I can't find a quarterback. I thought I had it in Taysom Hill, but they make Trevor Siemian the starter. It's just not my year. But it is my year in FanDuel because we just won money again.
Yeah, because you are a beast.
And I was really high on the money this week.
How high?
Well, it was only $12 again, but I was high in the numbers.
You were top 10% again?
Again, yeah, because I was the guy in the bottom. The minimum to win was 114 or something like that. I had 135, I think, like that. So I was up there, like, in points total, too. So I was doing pretty good. And I picked the Broncos defense, who had, like, 1 point.
So when you're doing it when it counts, with a live camera in your face recording stuff, you're killing it.
Exactly.
But this could end bad. Like, we got to get to that pink dress and burn it. Yeah. Or we got to do something. We got to do something for it. We can't have the undisputed, undefeated sports podcast.
Okay. Everyone has their downs. People forget, right? The year after the Patriots won the Super Bowl, they didn't even make the playoffs. Right? The Patriots didn't even make the playoffs, and that was the start of a dynasty. They went 8-8. So I don't want to hear it.
So is UG the one that is really busting your balls about this?
Yeah.
Now, what's he saying?
Like
Mr. Big Shot podcast.
No, it was just like it was a fluke championship year. Even though I dominated the whole season, like it wasn't even close last year. I was in first place since week 2.
So this could be from first to
yeah, worst. It is because I won last year and I was in first place by far. It wasn't even close. But I don't know. Like I keep one days I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, I'll be fine. Like Ridley will play, but I really don't know if Ridley's ever gonna play.
No.
You think he's gonna play?
I don't think he's gonna play. No.
Yeah, see, and then I'm fucked because I have no receivers outside of him. Like I have Justin Jefferson, who's great, but other than that, I have no receivers. And I traded away Chris Godwin, who was my third player taken.
You can't get a receiver out there.
No, because
you can't get lucky with one of the Pats receivers or something like that.
No, but there's not many. The receivers I have, I don't really want to drop because they have. Like, it's just so tough, dude. It's so tough because I have to start 3 of them. They made a stupid rule. You got to start 3 of them. I don't know. It's just, it's going to be rough.
Who's your backup running back?
I have 4 running backs. 3 running backs. I have Eckler, Carter, and Barkley. My running backs are not my situation that I need help in. It's my receivers, and it's not looking good in my receivers situation right now. If Barkley comes back, then I'll be okay because I only need to start 3 receivers, and I really need Barkley to come back this week. If Barkley doesn't,
their offensive line is a mess. The fucking Giants.
But listen, the 2 weeks they let him loose. I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button. But the 2 weeks they let him loose and did Saquon Barkley. He scored 20 points and 30 points. The first 2 weeks, he scored 15 points combined when they didn't let him loose and they were just easing him back into the offense. So when he was fully healthy and didn't step on someone's foot by accident and rolled his ankle on a freak accident that anybody could have happened, then I could be okay. But it's just bad luck this year. It's just bad luck. I don't know what to do.
That's all right.
Fantasy football is a lot of luck. Me and Brady say it all the time. It's just like I just traded for a guy and he got sad and doesn't play for the rest of the year. How am I supposed to know he's feeling that way? Somebody tell me that. Like, how is that my fault? How is it my fault? Robert Woods tears his ACL. How's it my fault? Saquon Barkley steps on a dude's foot walking and he hurts his ankle. That's not my fault. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
But I did make some mistakes.
Some things are out. Some things are out of your control.
Yep.
I'll tell you what's in control. The Patriots' playoff destiny is in their control. Pats are arguably the hottest team in football right now. You buying that? Any of that, Jazz?
I want to the Titans probably because they won 5 straight against way better.
I said arguably one of the hottest.
Oh yeah. Then yeah, definitely up there.
Okay, complimentary football. Defense is physical. Number 1 in the league in interceptions. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
7 for 9 on 3rd downs. Mac Jones probably playing his way into Rookie of the Year, possibly, Riley. I've been saying it for the last 4 weeks that I like what I see from this Pats team, and they just keep getting better and better and better and better and better. And as the AFC, I think, looks as weak and as vulnerable, you don't know what to expect from the Ravens week in and week out. You do not know what to expect from the Buffalo Bills week in and week out. You do not know what to expect from the Kansas City Chiefs week in week out. Tennessee is vulnerable without Henry. Anything can happen, baby. Why not? Why not us? I mean, why not Mac Jones, Mac 10, Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots, who are shocking the shit out of people with how they're developing through this NFL season, and it's complimentary football at its finest. And it really, really, really is starting to look like, and starting to smell like, and starting to have the layout of Tom Brady's first Super Bowl run, which it was a defense and more of a conservative approach from the quarterback situation, certainly. But Mac Jones is doing his thing. Riley, any thoughts on the Patriots?
This run of games coming up is going to be very, very, very important because they got a lot of tough games coming that all mean something. Obviously, all the games mean something, but it's the teams that they're playing.
Atlanta Thursday.
Yeah, I think that one should be, like I said before, like when we were talking about the Cowboys game, thought the Cowboys were gonna have a really big win, blowout win, which they did. The Falcons didn't even have a single chance. Which again, I expect some of the same things.
Let me ask you about this, all right? Because you watch football incessantly, as do I. How can you be the Atlanta Falcons and beat the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans, right? Okay, the Saints coming off a victory over Tampa. Okay, you go there and you play with them, crazy crowd, everything, you play well. And then you come back the next week, okay, and you get beat 43-3 by a Dallas team that didn't even show up the week before. How can you make any type of logic of this, Rowdy? Explain it to me.
I think you said it the best.
Poor practicing?
No, I think they came off a win against the Saints, and they weren't ready. And they were like, they thought. I think
practice habits. Then that's what that means.
It could be, yeah. I think they thought that everything was aligning for them to win. They came off of a huge win. The Cowboys came off of a huge loss, so they were going like this, and they were meeting the Cowboys off of momentum, and the Cowboys were losing momentum. So they thought they were just going to win that battle when. Obviously, they didn't even come close at all. And that's, again, I think it's going to be almost the same thing. I don't think it's going to... I think the score won't be 43-3 against the Cowboys this Thursday, but I mean, against the Falcons this Thursday for the Patriots, but I think they'll win very, very comfortably. I think it'll be like a 17-point win around there, 15-point win, something like that. I don't think the Falcons have much of a chance this week. But other than that, it's the AFC games that I'm looking forward to, like the Bills twice, the Dolphins again, the Titans again, the Titans, which is a huge game for them.
Sure.
I believe it's one more. I think it's like, I forget what other team it is, the Bengals or something like that, or do you guys play? I don't know off the top of my head, but there's a lot of AFC games where against other AFC wildcard teams where they need to win all of those games to keep their AFC record high. And against, I don't think the Chargers team was ever, even when you and Birdie were talking about they could be in the Super Bowl, I was like, I don't know. And look at the Chargers now, they're not that good. So even that Chargers team, I think I have the Patriots ahead of them now too, because that Chargers team wasn't that good.
And every home game they play turns into an away game.
Exactly.
Which
you can't trust them. You can't. How are you supposed to bet on a team like that? Like if they have home field advantage for 3 points, it's not home field advantage, dude. It's a neutral stadium pretty much. And in some franchises, it's an away game.
It's an away game.
Like if it's the Cowboys, the Packers, exactly. The Bears, the Patriots possibly. The Broncos is an away game.
Okay, but explain this to me. The Browns smack around the NFL's dollar a week ago, okay, with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, and then they come into Foxborough, play a young Patriots team who they're supposed to be better than on paper.
I don't think so.
I said on paper.
No, I think the Patriots are better than them on paper still.
Really?
I come into the year, I was okay with Baker, but I don't like what he sees at all.
With the OBJs, with the Jarvis Landrys, with the Baker Mayfields, with the running attack, with Myles Garrett, with all these players, how do they play so well against Cincinnati on the road, come home, go to Foxborough and get totally smashed by a rookie quarterback and a team that was supposed to hang around 500 this year? I mean, how does it change like that in a week? I mean, and we can go all the way down the line, and I don't expect you to have an explanation, young brother, because I don't have it either.
I think this is why the NFL is the best.
Is fucked up.
That's why the NFL is the best. Anything can happen in basketball.
On any given Sunday.
And basketball, like a team could beat the other team, but usually, most times, it's the team that's the better team that's gonna win. Like the Jets have 2 wins, and they're probably the worst team in the league. Like the Titans are the hottest team in the NFL right now. Look like one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFL. And they lost to the Jets a few weeks ago, like 6-7 weeks ago. They lost to the Jets. Like it's just the NFL is amazing. Like, any Sunday, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like it's just so awesome how all this happens.
Yeah. I mean, it is really, really difficult to make sense. You go to Carolina and Arizona.
Yeah, what a game that was.
Flip that script up. Your boy Cam Newton had made a big play. I mean, there are games where if you went to sleep for 3 days and woke up and looked at it, you'd be like, what is going on here? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Some of the scores here, and the team that everybody was talking about, washed up, being done, looked great again with Kansas City. So,
yeah,
all these motherfuckers talking on TV and all making a living, they don't know what they're talking about. None of us do. We can try our best. None of us do. This is crazy.
It's awesome to watch though, because you don't.
Yeah,
it sucks. It sucks if you're betting, but it's awesome to watch because you don't know what's gonna happen at all. Like that Chiefs game wasn't even close. Like I thought it was gonna be a close game. That's why I was like, yo, just flip the coin when we picked the picks, and wasn't even close. Like the Chiefs absolutely blew them out of the water. The Raiders looked like a terrible team, and the Raiders were looking like a pretty good team all year too. So the whole NFL is just it's wild. It's just absolutely wild.
All right, we got some questions of the week we got to talk about. We already talked about how teams can be so unpredictable. We already talked about the Pats destroying the Browns and what it looks like for them. Can we read the next the Pats' remaining schedule and what they are?
Yeah, I got you. So the Patriots' schedule is Falcons on Thursday. I think that should be a win. It's in Atlanta. I know I just said I expect a blowout, but that could be close. Who knows? Titans in New England. That's a huge game. Huge game. That's going to be a good game no matter. I don't know who's going to win that, but that's going to be a good game. Patriots and Bills, that's like probably their biggest game of the season in Buffalo. They need to win that if they want to have any hope of the division.
Yeah.
Then the Colts, that's another big game because the Colts are looking like a really good team.
Sure.
Jonathan Taylor, man. Oh my God, that guy is so good. First quarter, he had 9 rushes, 93 yards, and a touchdown in the first quarter. 9 rushes, 93 yards. That's going to be a huge game. And then you got the Bills again. So you got the Bills twice in the span of 3 weeks.
Sure.
That's rough.
And you got Indy in between them.
Yeah, that's
and you got Tennessee.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. This next run of 4 games, that's huge. You got to win at least 2 of those games if you want to be a playoff team. Then you got the Jaguars. You got a week off, pretty much a second bye week. And then you got the Dolphins last week of the season in Miami, when historically you haven't been good against Miami. But I expect the Patriots to win that one. Sadly, because they usually always split the series 1-1, and the Dolphins already won 1. So I think the Patriots should win that one because they're going to go 1-1. I don't see the Dolphins sweeping the Patriots, especially since the Patriots have gotten a lot better since then.
That's a monster 4-game stretch.
It is.
So you're looking at 2 games against Buffalo, Tennessee, and who?
Indy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. That's when it's going to be a true test for this team. What are they truly? Because even the Browns, like, they're such a roller coaster team. The other ones, the Titans have been consistently near the top. They had one little fluke. Same thing with the Bills. The Bills had one little fluke, and then they went right back to work against the Jets this week, blew them out of the water, was never even close. So those, and the Colts have been like, but you need to beat that team because they're a wild card contending team. That's a huge week right there. A huge 4 weeks right there.
What happened with your Broncos? You expected a better performance?
I don't want to talk about it. Teddy Bridgewater needs to go right now. I can't stand him. I absolutely hate him.
He had an opportunity to tackle.
Not just that, but yes, that is absolutely atrocious. You don't ever do that. When Peyton Manning, when the running, okay, so there was a play, 3rd and something against the Chiefs, 3rd and 1. They hand the ball off to whatever running back we had then. I think it was like no Sean Moreno, Monte Ball, whatever. He fumbles it, and the guy was on a clear touchdown, and Peyton Manning tackled him. Peyton Manning, a top 5 quarterback of all time. Teddy, you're not even near top 5, bro. You're like top 500 if you're lucky. And Peyton Manning tackled him. Like, what makes you think you're okay to not tackle him? Like, I get you're the captain, but you need to lead by example for the whole team. You're a captain of the offense, and you just let him go. And it's not even just that. He's so scared. He's the most scared quarterback I've ever watched play. Like, okay, the dinks and the dunks and not throwing the ball 50 yards down like, he throws the ball only 10 yards down the field. That's it. Every receiver we had 93 yards total because all he does is throw it 5 yards, throw it 5 yards, throw it 5 yards. He's so scared to throw it long or give a jump ball to anybody because he doesn't want to lose his job. And it's so frustrating to watch because you have a 6'4", 200-something pound receiver in Cortland Sutton who can almost outrun any DB, and you're just not throwing him the ball deep because you're scared to lose your job. Same thing with Tim Patrick. He's 6'3", and you're scared to throw him the ball because you want to lose your job, and all you're doing is dink passes. And we're here on 3rd and 8 every single time because they want to run the ball on 2nd down. It's terrible.
He's going to lose his job.
He's not, because Fangio said, "Oh, Teddy Bridgewater gives us the best chance to win." Yeah, he gives us the best chance to win because he's not going to do crazy shit, and we're not going to lose by a lot because he's not trying to throw the ball deep. At least Drew Lock takes chances, throws it deep. Okay, fine, a deep ball interception, whatever. Teddy Bridgewater, all he's doing is just dink, 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 and he's not getting the ball down the field at all. It's not working. He needs to go. I loved him in the beginning of the season because he was getting wins and he looked okay last week. But watching it, it's so terrible when you have those receivers out wide and Jerry Jeudy in the slot. Okay, use Jerry Jeudy. He's your best receiver on the team. He's not going to run deep routes. Get him the ball. But get the ball to Cortland Sutton at least more than 2 times in 1 week. That's terrible. He plays so bad. I can't stand it anymore. He needs to go.
The Broncos look good in the AFC West. Now they're starting to fall apart, and look who's back, sitting back at the head of the table. Who would have thought it after the first half of awful, miserable football, lots of gossip, lots of innuendo, lots of people hating on Kansas City. Well, you know something? Andy Reid's got them with their swag back because they look real good. Did you expect more of this or less of this from Kansas City in the future?
For sure, more, because I think it was a matter of time when this was going to happen. We kept saying, like, oh, I think it's this week, and it never was. They barely beat the Packers, but that win could be a huge win come towards the end of the season. Squeaking out a win against the Packers could be massive because that could implement if they win a division or if they play a wild card or maybe even they get number one seed, because they have 4 losses, right, which seems like a lot, but the number one team in the AFC is the Tennessee Titans with 2 losses. So if the Chiefs just go undefeated from here on out, which is not impossible because they have one of the best players, if not the best player in all of NFL, they could still get the number one seed or even win the division because the AFC West, every team is still in it. As much as I'm mad at the Broncos, they're in last place, but they're 1 loss behind the Chiefs in number 1, and we still have to play them twice. So that division's still heated, and I think the Chiefs are still going to go up from here.
Be interesting. I think a lot of people are, especially after watching that performance on the road. And you can just see how important getting the ball to Tyreek Hill is for the energy of that kid. You feel me?
They need to get him the ball.
He is it's good. And they said that, 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s now. If that's the only time that we don't have a 2-stack safety against him, we're going to get him the ball there. And they made him a point to get him the ball, and they're better off for it. Andy D, the nice coaching job. Kelsey came to play for the first time in a while. Mahomes was on point. Their defense was flying around. Good win for Kansas City. Looks like when most people had him 1 foot in the grave, now they're looking to be the grave robber, being let back off from the dead, certainly. And last question, does Cam Newton deserve to start in Carolina?
It's so weird. They were doing the same thing that they were doing with Taysom Hill, where like the starting quarterback P.J. Walker would play, and then Cam Newton would come in for a play, come in for 2. He took the ball in the end zone, he took the ball in the red zone, and he ran it himself. So he's leading the team really well because there's videos of him hyping up everybody when they're on the sidelines. I don't know about the starter. Maybe why not? He's like the best player in their franchise history, probably, right? He probably is because he won MVP, led them in a 15-1 season. The best player in the NFL and your franchise history is back. I mean, might as well give him a chance. I mean, he's your best player for a reason, right? You took him number 1 overall 10 years ago, so give him another chance. He looked decent this last week. He knows that team. The fan base loves him, so why not?
Why not? 7 questions for the National Football League. We just piled through it. Okay, let's give a recap before we let you go. Portugal is in a bad spot. Now it's really up to them. No room for an error. Can they escape through the play-in playoffs for the World Cup? Let's hope so. Italy trying to get out of there too. Russia, Switzerland, or Sweden, yeah. So it should be really interesting to see who survives. The Celtics, I think, have a must-win game against the Cavs, and I think cannot lose 2 in the same week to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Certainly. The Bruins keep on trucking. The Red Sox looking to make deals. College basketball is here.
Syracuse 2-0.
You're a Syracuse fan, huh?
Yes, I am, yeah.
My brother's boy went there. Okay, that's good to know. And, of course, we got college basketball starting around here and college football winding down. We're waiting the next round of playoff rankings, but it looks like it's going to be Alabama and Georgia. Anybody really, really surprised at the end of the day about that? You shouldn't be. I am the Hurricane for Rowdy, Arruda. We say peace, love, and good night.
See ya.